Hey guys, Ben from Passion Projects here once again. Yes, and I presume you have clicked on this episode because you want to learn about hydraulics and lowrider lifestyle. Don't ask me about lowrider lifestyle. Nah, it's lit. The lowrider community in Australia is absolutely, by far, hands down, probably one of the best, most helpful, friendly crews, scenes, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever been a part of. And as you can tell, I've been a part of a few. But today it's another episode on my Impala. Now this is going to be more of a point and shoot and show you what I've done, because I've been a bit slack on the footage for this. Because as you guys know, it's a setback after setback after setback with this engine. So the suspension and stuff's got me a little bit disgruntled. So yeah, I'm a little bit off it at the moment, as you can tell, but we're making progress. I got all the old steering out because I've gone for a simplified power steering setup to get rid of the power assist ram and all that kind of stuff. And you'll see there are these big cylinders hanging out of the engine bay. There's one on either side. Yeah, make sure they're primed and ready to go. And then you'll see when this light adjusts, but there are, well, I'm just going to turn this around, so hopefully, you can see them. There's one there and one there. As you'll see, that is the rear suspension. So with hydraulics, it's similar to airbag suspension. It replaces the spring assembly, but with hydraulics they actually still retain the spring, and then you can kind of get rid of the shock absorber if you'd like. But for this car, I'm leaving my rear shock absorbers in because it's just a lay and play setup, not like my old 63, which I haven't put up a video up again of, so I might do that as well in conjunction with this. I'll put the link for that in the bio if I do it. But yeah, hydro is a little bit different for everyone. As I was saying, they do replace the spring and strut assembly, but what they replace it with is a hydraulic ram. So fluid in the top here. Actually, I might turn this around so I can see better and see what I'm pointing at. So you can see here, hydraulic ram comes up through, through the spring carrier, and normally there would be obviously no hole. So you have to hole saw through there, and yeah, everyone can see there's a little bit of fouling just there, but that comes out with alignment. So you chuck some shims in there and it pulls it apart. That's how I've set it up. Same as this side. So you can see there's no shims in there, and there's one little tiny shim in there, but I can adjust that and have it play. So you can see that comes through, and you can see I've got these fancy chrome arms. They're from the States. So they're wrapped and extended for strength and a little bit more down travel. Now, as you come underneath, you can see it gets a little bit fancier. I've got tall springs in this for now, and I'll shorten these down when once it's finished. But I need this car to roll around until the suspension is done, until the motor is done. So that's how that's going to sit. You'll notice all my steering and sway bar is out, because insert a clip later, there's actually some chrome and gold shit going in here. So it's very fancy, and you can see the engine is still missing. So with these, they've been wrapped and extended. 1 inch, all from the States, triple chrome from the States. Same with the springs, triple chrome springs, upper control arms, new ball joints and bushes throughout. And yeah, so front suspension, super easy. Rams up through the spring carriers onto cups and donuts, which I should have left out. So there's a cup there, which sits in the spring. And then on top there's a donut piece of steel that, coming out of the car. Oh, see, where am I? Will I cut that out? Who knows? But there's a donut that sits up in the spring perch to keep the strut, so the ram, from sliding up through. And it kind of gives it it mounts it. So they kind of just float in there. They're never actually mounted. Moving on to the rear, as you can see, I've got a whole lot going on. Oh. Nice chrome discs to stop faster. So here's one of those cups I was talking about, and that's to locate the spring. Normally you have like a normal spring perch here, which is okay and that's fine, but it doesn't quite give enough height for the spring, because these are 2.5 ton springs, and then the fronts are 3 ton springs. So they've got a fair bit of extra bounce to them. And you can see there's another cup. Actually, you might be able to see, see there's a donut there. Ooh. It's just a piece of steel, sits on the ram, and then that goes up into the spring perch, and that's what stops it from going through. But yeah, so that's the rear setup of it, of hydraulics. As I said, guys, it's super simple. It's the exact same as bags, just using fluid instead. And you can see this is what they call a spring under setup. So because the spring is under the hydraulic ram. You can do spring over, which actually mounts the ram itself to the lower control arm, and then that's done through a power ball setup. So it's actually screwed into it's like, so you weld a little power ball on here, which essentially is just a, say like a shoulder joint, like a ball and socket joint with a thread in it, and that threads your ram into it, and it kind of just moves around, so it can go up and down and left and right, and they're normally used for, so then where the donut sits is actually a spring, and then the spring sits above that, so it's a little bit different. It's what my old 63 had. Just getting up, guys. Oh yep, so here you go. So yeah, so that's what my old 63 had, and it's a little bit bouncier, and it's just a little bit more secure. So with this, if I hit a bumper big enough, and I'm not paying attention, that spring can just go, whoop, see ya, left to chat, bye, running on bumps. So yeah, that's the real basic start of a hydraulic setup. Now I won't go too much into detail today because, well, one, I have no setup. So Homie Hydros in Albury, Wodonga is doing me a whammy tank that I supplied through Air Ride Supplies in Melbourne, and he's doing me a really nice boot hardline setup, and he's going to get that painted and shipped up for me shortly. Oh man, this is really having a struggle with the focus today, isn't it? So, but I will flip you around, and this is what I've bought for the upgrades. So this is my my steering upgrades. You'll see them, my knockoffs are also from Bling Rims and Homie Hydro, same guy, great fella. This is part of my Conti kit, which is the spare wheel kit that goes there, and I've got some cruiser skirts that take up the whole entire rear quarter. And then up in that little cylinder over there, I've got sill trims that go all the way along here. And you'll see I've got a few bits and pieces missing, aerials and whatnot, and that's all stuff here. So yeah, so the Impala is making progress, guys. I will do a further rundown. So in the boot here, there will be 4 batteries. I'll be doing a 24 volt system for the front and 24 volt for the rear. And what that means is the higher the voltage, the faster your 12 volt motor spin. So that paired with different gearing creates different flow, and essentially will give you the big hops, or like the faster up, like the fast up, or the real fast up, or the really, really fast up, and the bouncy shit. But this car isn't built like my old 63, and it's just going to be like a real nice lay and play setup. So what goes in the boot there is me tripping over. That's what goes in that boot. But you'll have your pump setup. So I'll have 2 pumps with a joined tank, which is a whammy tank setup. I had new carpet going in here as well. So yeah, the whammy tank and hard line setup will be here, and then you run that through. So then you have solenoids. You have to forgive me, I'm a bit rusty on this. So solenoids, which are it runs from your battery to your solenoid, and then from your solenoid you get a signal from your switches, which is on the dash. Which I'll show you later on when I put all that stuff in. That goes all the way back to the solenoid to allow the circuit through. That then goes from the, so battery, solenoid, switch, then from the other side of the solenoid comes out of the solenoid to the motors, and then from the motors that lets the hydraulic flow. And then on the down, you just have downs, which is just a metering valve that you can adjust to slow or fast down. But I'll show you more of that when the rear boot setup arrives. I know this is a pretty boring episode. I say that about all my episodes, but really they're packed full of information. And now you kind of know how hydraulics are different to airbags. They drive different, they handle different. Obviously there's no like self-adjustment computer management. It's all by switches, like old school airbags. And yeah, guys, so that's the basic rundown of what the Impala's been doing. All my suspension and like badges are there. The poor old girl is going to be sitting here probably till March because my hydraulics will be late. So yeah, I'm a bit, look, to be honest, I'm a bit off it at the moment, but I hope you guys are enjoying this small little update, a quick small how-to on hydraulic setups as a whole. Yeah, I told you I wasn't going to go into lowrider lifestyle because you guys will experience when I get down to the sunny coast and the Gold Coast and start doing some real rolls. But for now, the Impala's coming along. The engine bay is like slightly still a mess because I need the motor in there. The bonnet's over in storage. The suspension at the front is done. I'm just going to put the steering and stuff in tomorrow or the next day or later on. And yeah, it's coming along, guys. I got a new steering wheel. That's in the car, in the nav, which is actually skedaddling. You guys will see a video of my upgrade soon. The VC is there. It's another day, another story. The Corvette is there, another day, another story. But we're making progress. All the cars are coming along, and I hope you guys, yeah, like that little bit of information into lowriding and or into hydraulics. I'll see you on the next episode. Don't know when that'll be, but I hope you guys are enjoying my footage. Remember, Sunny Coast, Townsville, in between. Slide my DMs for a Passion Projects episode, or if you've got a car like this that's just sitting around, send me some pictures and I'll do a post on my Facebook, on my Instagram, share your page, and yeah, just kind of build that community. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. 1960 Impala lowrider coming along one day, but peace, guys. See you around.